So what exactly is a sword? A sword, it's basically irrational numbers. And when we talk about irrational numbers, they are numbers that cannot be expressed in the form P over Q. Not only that, but when being turned into a decimal fraction, they will neither terminate nor recur. So what does that mean? Considering this number, square root of 2. When you type this into your calculator, you should be having values like 1.4142135, then dot, because this value keeps on changing randomly. Now when we say the recurring values, it means after getting to some point, same value keeps on repeating itself. Now, judging what we are saying here, no value is repeating itself. Everything is just changing randomly. So whenever you have values like this, we call them irrational numbers. And another name in which you can call them is known as a sword. It turns out that sword is a topic itself entirely. And it has some basic rules that you need to be familiar with when dealing with problems involving sword, which is the main focus of this video. So what exactly are they? When dealing with problems involving sword, this is what you need to take note of. The first one is known as the product law or the product rule. And what's it? When you have a sword, let's say the square root of A, to be multiplying another sword, square root of B. This is equals to the square root of their product, A times B. And A times B is indeed AB. This square root of AB. Now, let's consider an example so as to see how this works. Let's say I have square root of 3 to be multiplying square root of 2, just for an instance. Then this will be indeed equals to square root of 3 times 2, which will be at the end equals to square root of 6. Perfect. Now the next question is, what if these values turns out to be the same thing? What am I saying in essence? What if you have values like square root of A multiplied by square root of A? For a problem like this, just keep in mind your answer will be A. But let's apply the law and see how it works. Square root of A times square root of A will be indeed equals to square root of A times A. And A times B, A is A squared. And we know that square and root that cancels each other. And at the end, I should have A as my final answer. And that is how the result will become 0. So keep that in mind. Now, what about the next one? What should that be? That is known as the quotient law or the division law. This says that when you have two swords with divided themselves, then this is indeed equals to a square root of their division. So just take one square root and combine them within the radical. So if I should consider the same cases, so this will be equals to square root of 3 over 2. And if they are the same thing, you notice that whenever a certain value is dividing itself, then the result will always be equals to 1. Take note of that as well. So the next one is the expansion of a sword. When you have two different swords to be multiplied, to be adding or subtracting themselves, such that they are raised to the power of a certain value, how can you expand it? Let's consider something simple. Let's say I have square root of A plus square root of B all to the power of 2. But keep in mind, the process is the same. You just need to know when the like sword are multiplying themselves and when the opposite sword are also multiplying themselves. Now, back from your knowledge in indices, you know that a squared is equals to a times a. So definitely square root of a plus square root of b squared simply means square root of a plus square root of b, all multiplied by square root of a plus square root of b. Don't change the sign. The sign will keeps on being the same. Having done this, you can now expand. While expanding, you need to know that you are multiplying each term with the corresponding terms. So what exactly is square root of a times square root of a? We have discussed it earlier in this video. So that's indeed equals to a. Plus square root of a times square root of b, that's indeed equals to square root of ab. Typically, positive square root of ab. And then square root of b multiplied by square root of a will be also indeed equals to square root of ab. And lastly, I should have square root of b multiplied by square root of b, and that should result in b. The fact that root ab are like terms, I can tend to combine them so as to keep the expression short. So this will become plus b, and this is my final answer. So please take note of how it is being expanded. So the last one, that is known as conjugate. When you hear about the word conjugate in mathematics, it means the opposite of what you're having initially. So in some textbook, the conjugate of a sword or of anything that's a complex number is denoted as if z is the value, either a complex number or a sword, then the conjugate is denoted as z raised to the power of asterisk or z raised to the power of negative sign in most textbooks. But in some cases, it's going to be written in word as a statement. Alright, if we have square root of a plus square root of b, and we have to find its conjugate. Okay, hopefully I got that right. Sj, its conjugate will be indeed equals to square root of a minus square root of b. All you need to do is just to check the sign that is associating those values together initially, then while providing your result, put or insert the opposite sign. The opposite sign to addition is subtraction. The opposite to subtraction is addition, the work vice versa. And the same thing applies to division and product. The opposite sign to division is product, and also in vice versa. So these are the basic things you need to know about sword. Hopefully you gain something. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.